Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to this episode of Two Girls, One Doc.
One Doc.
It's your girl, BD.
It is Forens, the foodie.
And we are back with another episode.
We're back. I'm trying to make my... writing so big because your girl is blind.
Listen, there's something we need to address before we start this episode, yeah? Oh. So last week, we recorded like this. We recorded a visual episode. But for some reason, my memory card said, nah, babe, it's not happening. And then, like, when I tried to, like, put the file, like, upload the file, it was, instead of being .mp4, it was .dat. And I was like, what the hell is that? There was no file. Very bizarre. Someone did comment on our YouTube and was like, hey, I came here for the visuals and to see the new setup, but I can't see it. Is it me? It's not you, babe.
It's not you, it's us.
It's not us either. It's the demons of hell who messed up my memory card. So hopefully today you can see us, okay? Yeah. I literally did prayers this morning. I said, Lord Jesus, please, I beg.
Yeah, because we finally found a way to record remotely, which is just a lot more convenient. We did this whole spiel last time, but yeah. Hopefully you can see us. And if you can't see us, it's because something happened, basically, is what I'm trying to say. So it's not you, it's us. It's us. But also, welcome to my crib again. I did this last time, but welcome to my crib.
Do the tour.
This is my couch, and these are my paintings, the Igbo ladies. You can't see them, but they're there. I mean, you can see the bottom half, but not the top half. They're there, and that's about all you can see of my crib, because it's my personal home.
Please comment, let us know how you feel about the crib.
Yeah, I mean, the 2 seconds you can see of it. Or the 2 inches you can see of it.
That's what she said. I am drinking today. And I'm drinking... So, we got some PR a while back.
I did not make my tea. But I have a very valid reason as to why. I'll explain after you talk about it.
Oh, okay. So,
yeah,
a while back, we got some PR from Kukuua Goods. And they do, like... snacks, as in the kind of snacks that you would eat while you're watching the documentary, I think, which is why she sent to us. So like plantain chips and like different like chocolates and things like that, and also like a bunch of honey. Oh damn, I should have put the honey in my tea. Anyway, there's more, so I'll have it later.
Yeah,
one of the things she gave us was this like hibiscus tea. I can feel a cold coming and I can't afford to be sick.
Quite literally. I
cannot afford to be sick. Yeah. I cannot. So anyway, this is the tea. And this mug, a little history for the people who care. I'll put timestamp to when we start talking about the documentary in the show notes. Yeah. But this mug, I actually painted myself.
Oh, okay.
My friend, for her birthday last year, we did like a little pottery thing. So we didn't make the mugs, but we like painted them. And this was it's supposed to be sunset, like a beach, like water in the sunset. Do you see it?
Blue and orange mug.
Do you see the vision?
Yes.
Anyway, it's not everyone that's creative. The creatives will get it. They'll understand the vision. Do you see? But yes, that's what I'm drinking today.
I'm dreading that part of parenthood where your kids bring back rubbish. Because my mum was clearing out over Christmas and she just found all this rubbish that we bought her that she had to pretend she liked.
Was she pretending? I feel like, sometimes at first you kind of like, oh, my child.
No, you have to. Come on. Primary school kid paints you some nonsense. A plate.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, because they're your child and you love them, you'll be like, oh my goodness.
Oh,
like,
she must have.
Wow.
No, I asked her. She was like, some of it was rubbish, but I had to pretend. I mean,
I remember one thing.
I don't think love blinds you to that extent.
Well, it depends how bad your kid is. I did this one thing. It was like I remember it so clearly. It was when I was in year 3, and it was like a paper mache. You know when you had to do the paper mache balloons?
Yeah.
So you'd like do the balloons and put the paper mache, and it was like a little bowl. And my mum used it to put like potpourri in it.
Oh.
And she kept it in her room. So it's not like she was displaying
She said, for my eyes only.
For the people, literally. But you had that for the longest time. That was really cute.
That is really cute.
I know.
So the reason I'm not drinking my tea is because I have an upset stomach.
Do you?
Yes. It started this afternoon and I know the culprit.
I was just going to say, what did you eat?
My colleague, he always bakes. I love this guy. Like, I need to be closer to him. He's like, I was going to say gay bestie, but I have no confirmation that he is. I just assume because we always talk about dream girls. But yeah, so he always bakes and he always gives me stuff that he bakes. And it's not that his baking is bad. He makes absolutely delicious things. I just think the sugar...
Your body wasn't having it.
My body wasn't having it.
What was it that he made?
He made muffins this time. It was like raspberry white chocolate and it had a crunchy top. And I think the crunchy top had sugar. And I just think my body...
Did it have gluten? Because gluten does you a bit funny.
Probably, actually.
Maybe that's
what... Yeah, but something... Because that's the only odd thing I ate. Because for breakfast, I had my usual porridge, protein porridge. And then For lunch, I had like this broccoli pasta thing I made. So it wasn't any of that. But I think it was the cake. And I've just not been feeling good. So I was like, you know what? I'm not going to drink or eat anything. I am not 100%.
I hear it.
Not to say that the tea would have been whatever, but anything green tea, whatever, is probably going to push me right over that edge.
Don't push me because I'm close to the edge.
But yeah, I will be drinking my tea next time because I too am feeling some type of way.
I mean, there's bare of it, so like you've got option. Next time I'll put honey in it. But yeah, anyway, I say all that to say, check out Kukuua. We'll leave the link in our bio, okay? Also our Instagram, all the things, okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like my hair is looking uneven, but okay, whatever.
I don't know, halfway it's blurred for me.
Okay.
So, today's documentary.
Yes.
We are doing The Flying Fercos. And it's a documentary that was sent to us by someone from Monarch Hill Productions, who are people who made this documentary.
Yep.
How did you feel about the documentary?
I love this documentary.
Yeah.
It was giving... Okay, so it was giving Tiger King. Yep. There was definitely that element. But it really reminded me of, I don't know if you guys used to watch, this is like vintage, when Hulk Hogan had a reality TV show.
I vaguely remember this, but I don't think I watched it.
I watched it religiously because then I grew up on WWE, so obviously I knew who he was.
Yeah, I love the WWE.
I did not. I watched it under
Were
duress.
you a Raw or a SmackDown girl?
It was all Raw. I think it was Raw.
I feel like people preferred one. I think I preferred SmackDown.
I did not watch it out of enjoyment. I watched it because my dad forced me to watch it.
Oh, I used to watch it with my dad and my sister. That was like
I used to watch it with my dad because...
That was our little bonding time on Saturdays. We'd like watch it in the mornings.
I used to watch it because he forced us to watch it. Because back then, that was before you had multiple TVs in your house. So it was what he was watching in the living room.
There was no option.
And this was before I had siblings. We were living in like 2-bed flat Hackney. These were crazy days, great times. But anyways, my mum would be in the kitchen or in the house cleaning or doing something. And then my dad would be watching it and he'd force me to watch it. And I used to say to him, even at a young age, Daddy, this looks fake. And he would be so angry and say to me, you have no proof. You know, Ibo men are never wrong.
It was literally a reality show.
Right. And I then married a man that loves WWE.
Oh, but when I said that your husband is your dad, you look at me like I'm a crazy person.
It's mad. It's insane. But anyways, so I grew up on that. So it really, really gave that. So I really enjoyed this documentary. Now, I thought, when I saw this, I thought it was the Flying Waleeders or There's another group or another family of generations of people that fly. These are not the only ones. So I thought it was these people. Those people are completely different. I would love a documentary on them as well, but these people are different. But they were absolutely chaos. I loved it. I loved the way it was shot. I loved the fact that they had so much home footage.
I wondered why they did, but later on in the documentary it made sense. Do you know what? I don't think that this is a documentary that I would have elected to watch if we hadn't been sent it. I don't think that I would have come across it and been like, oh yeah, great, I'll watch this. But I'm so happy that I did because it gave everything that you needed to, anyway, let's talk about it. So it's essentially about a family, like an acrobat family. And I've put here, they are like the Wayans of acrobats or like the Jacksons of acrobats.
Yes,
they're like 6 generations
perfect.
They are as in, with the Wayans, they're all beautiful, they all act, they're all really, really good at what they do. They're all creative in some way. And it's just generation, yeah? That's what these men are like. So we focus on the
beauty.
Well, I think that actually the first four, stunning. I think that they were beautiful. Yeah, but I think they kind of diluted the bloodline with the.
Because I was going to say, do you know what particularly came to mind? The sons.
Yeah, the sons. Yeah, to be honest, the girls were fine. The sons, they let Nas down. Yeah, they did. Yeah. But however, I feel like they were like that family who this was their thing.
Yeah.
As in, this is what they were born to do. 100%. So we meet basically 2 generations of the family. So talk about the siblings. So there's Tony. He's like the main guy, the Don Dada. Then
he's
his brother,
the Hulk Hogan.
He's the Hulk Hogan, exactly.
And
then
Tiger King.
Fernando.
Ferdinand. But I swear they called him Fercos or something.
Yeah, they called his name is Ferdinand, but they called him Fercos. That's why I was like, was he the eldest one? Because why did he get called the surname?
Right, because it's just like me being called the foodie. Like I don't have two sisters that also equally could be called the foodie.
Yeah, it's very bizarre. Yeah. But anyway, so Ferdinand was the brother, and then there were two sisters, Olga and Dasha. Yeah, so there's 4 of them. Okay, so they all start doing like acrobatics from when they're like babies, which is the perfect time to start.
I'm gonna have my kids flipping, flopping.
I am gonna have my kids
twisting
in gymnastics. Okay, from the womb.
Yeah.
In fact, because they need to be better than me.
And not just they need to be better than me. You need to start earning your keep. The sooner you do something.
You're gonna be Joe Jackson. This guy was Joe Jackson. I cannot lie, and it paid off. Or did it? Who knows?
Yeah.
So this documentary is centered around Tony Fercos, and like we basically see how everyone talks about him like he's a dictator. Like he was Joe Jackson. He was on it. He made everybody great, essentially. And the most important thing is that it got them out of Czechoslovakia, which is where they were from, and to Las Vegas, which is what they wanted. And as Florence mentioned before, there's so much footage, yeah. And you can just see how talented they are. And it's not even just like they're talented. Like I do think that they're talented, and some people, certain things just come naturally to them, yeah. But they were also so hardworking, like their work ethic, their dedication, their discipline, insane. Because I can't imagine them feeling like they would want to get up and be flipping and flopping around all the time.
But I don't know if this is one, but Czechoslovakia was part of the Soviet Union?
I think so.
Yeah. Them man, I mean, to be honest, whether it was or it wasn't, them man from them sides, their work ethic, they are built differently. Yeah. Like, they're built differently. Crazy. So I'm not surprised.
They worked. Like, some people don't want to go to work these days. They went to work. And they did overtime.
Yep.
So they traveled through Europe all together. This is in like the 1960s, yeah, just for context. And they're famous in Europe. And you're famous in Europe in the 1960s. There's no TikTok, by the way. There's no viral. Like, well, I mean, there was viral sensation, but like, you know, not in the way that it is now. It's not 15 minutes. These people were famous in Europe. They catch the eye of this like talent scout from Vegas.
Yeah.
And they get signed. So they go to Vegas, they're living it up, and they're of that mindset where it's like, you know, when you come from nothing, yeah, it's like we have to make it, as in it's do or die.
It's
like,
do or die.
Do or die.
It's kind of like coming from Nigeria. Nigeria's a do or die affair. Eat or be eaten, chop or be chopped.
Eat or be eaten, fam. So oh yeah. So basically, when they're in Vegas, this is around the 1970s now. So this is around Elvis time, Frank Sinatra, like they're living it up, living their life. Their contract initially is 3 months. They perform, it gets extended, yeah? And so they're doing 2 shows a night, every day, no days off, their star is rising. This is like the grind, you know? Like, in this life, I mean, maybe people don't really have to grind as much now because like TikTok, all that stuff. But people would grind,
like, as in, really like hard. It's not like you said, like now you can. I'm not saying people don't work hard now, but like now you can put out a video, go viral, and build off of that. Like,
yeah, and still working hard.
Yeah,
but the
grind it's a lost art.
It's different, man.
There's a bit where Tony, when he said he got to Vegas, he saw women that were topless, and he was like, "Yeah, I think I'm going to like this place."
Yeah. He was like, I'm going to stay here.
I was like, I shall.
That's when I knew he was a delinquent, fam.
I knew he was a...
I said, something is coming up.
You said I didn't just become a bit of a slag. I was
a total slag. So their main competition in Vegas is this duo called Siegfried and Roy. I kept saying Siegfried and Freud.
I mean, yes, but I also thought of Stepford and Sons.
Oh, I see that, but I was like, why do I keep thinking it's Freud? But then I'm thinking of Sigmund Freud.
Yeah,
right?
But you're not wrong because
no, but it's not Sigmund, it's Siegfried and Roy.
I know, but either way, like, why did you pick those names?
I'll speak to their parents, fam. When people cuss people about their names, I'm like, I didn't choose this.
I didn't choose this.
Why are you cussing me? Cuss my mum, cuss my dad.
Literally, but I mean, you could have chosen other stage names. Like, I also thought Siegfried, Freud, and then I thought of Stepford and Sons. It was.
Yeah. So if we do say any of those things interchangeably, you know what we mean. Okay.
You know what we mean.
So the Siegfried and Roy, them man, yeah, they work at the MGM Hotel, which I feel like everybody knows the MGM Hotel, right? It's like a big hotel in Vegas.
Yeah, but I mean,
but I don't know if I'm thinking of the MGM. Is that the one with the lion in the at the end of the movies?
That's what you're thinking.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Because
I think the hotel since has closed down, but
is it?
I think of the movies with the lion.
But are they affiliated?
Who knows? I mean, someone knows, but not me.
If you know, leave in the comment. So their whole act was like magic. So they did magic with like animals, lions, tigers, and bears and stuff. Yeah.
I'm not scared.
Right. Thank you, Jasmine. So at this time, Fercos are at the Dune Hotel. And when they saw Dune, I was just thinking Insecure because of like the Dune.
Yeah, of course, me too.
This wasn't that. This was the Dune Hotel. Which again,
either way, I'm sure Lawrence was in there broke and unemployed, forgetting Issa's birthday.
With what's her name? Tasha. What's her name?
Oh my god, yeah.
Girl, how could you forget? So they are at Dune Hotel, which is another huge Vegas hotel, and their name was on the billboards outside, which is a huge deal because it's like, oh my days, Fercos. Do you know what I mean? Like, imagine me seeing, I don't want to see my name in lights.
No one's gonna stop me. You see, I will go.
What's your name?
Tina.
Fercos.
But you know what? That whole thing was really peak because you sing that song as your like opening song and then you don't go far.
Is that how you know her real name?
Yeah. The last time I saw her, she was in Why Did I Get Married? And she was just like this sales assistant that helped.
How does
what's
that
the
happen?
Slap guy? Chris Rock.
Oh.
Him find whatever. I don't know how that happens, but it's very sad. You said you were going to see your name in lights, and you didn't.
But she did see her name in lights. The lights just went off. That's all.
Okay.
Anyway, she did her bit for me. Childhood me was.
Oh no, she did. I love those shows.
Yeah, Childhood me was lit.
Yeah.
So Siegfried and Roy, they are a bit like, pissed because their names aren't in lights.
Yeah.
Can't lie, and they've been doing it longer.
Yeah.
And also, MGM offer Fercos their spot. And the Fercos thought they even do magic. But again, here comes the hustle, here comes the grind. They're like, I don't do magic, but how hard can it be? How hard can it be?
I can do.
Exactly, I can pattern.
Call me, beep me if you want to reach me.
Fam. Call me, beep me. I rate people like this so much because it's just like, fam, nothing stopping the hustle. Like if I can see it, I can achieve it. Yeah.
Do you know what I do? I feel like I like the intention in the sense that it's good to have the mentality of anything that can be done I can do. Like, don't see anything in your limitation. But I think later on we see jack of all trades, master of none. I get the
Do you know what? I think that like they actually did a great job because like, okay, cool, things happen later on, but like they actually, even the people who were Siegfried and Roy, yeah, shit happened with them too, and they were trained in this. That was what they did.
Yeah, but they made more moolah.
They did because they were they had business people. Anyway, we'll get into all of that.
Yeah.
But I do think they did a great job because they did learn to do.
No, they did.
They did learn to do tricks, and it was like, wow, like you people really like did that shit.
No, they did. They did. But yeah, anyways, we'll talk about it.
We'll get there. Anyway, at this point, it's low key beef because Siegfried and Roy. I didn't see this coming.
I literally said they started a mini war.
I didn't. Huh?
I said they started a mini war.
I didn't think it was this kind of documentary.
I didn't think it was that deep. It's just doing some tricks on the stage.
So Siegfried comes along, to Tony, and he's like, "Hey, bro, I imagined it all in an Italian accent. I hear you want to steal my act, like a New York Italian accent, yeah." And Tony's like, "Babe, like chill, babe. I'm you. I mean, I'm me. You're you. We do different things. Let's all coexist. It's like, why we got to pit two bad bitches against each other? Like, we can all coexist.
We can all have fat asses. Like,
exactly. And they declined the MGM thing as well. So it was kind of like, babe,
which was the wrong.
That was
mistake.
a dumb move.
The wrong mistake.
That was a dumb move. It was dumb.
Have I not
Business
told you
is not for everybody.
The story of the wrong mistake?
No.
That's one of my mum's sayings.
Go on.
Similar, like living the life la vida.
Living the life la vida.
There's not really a big story. I can't even remember the context in which she said it, but she meant to say like, oh, like you made a mistake, and she was like, oh, like you made a wrong mistake, and we were all looking at her like, so what is a right? Which one is right? Because
a right mistake, actually, to defend Auntie, a right mistake is, I went left and I should have gone right. But actually, when I turned left, I met the love of my life.
You sound just like my daddy, defending the undefendable.
I'm just trying to make sense, because sometimes people are misunderstood and then they're mocked.
She's not
by the people that they birthed.
She's Michael Scott in the sense that she starts a sentence, doesn't know where it's going, but she just keeps going. And
you don't think that you're the same way?
No. What are you talking about? My sentence is when I talk.
But it's not every sentence that your mum starts that she doesn't know where it's going, is it?
For the most part.
You're saying 90%?
9%. And also, like, she just expects that whatever she says, we will all decipher and decode. Like, she doesn't need to speak the English language the way it was intended.
She doesn't need to complete the thought. They just need context.
Nothing. Just, she'll say it. We should all figure it out.
And we did. We just figured it out. That's what she meant by the wrong
Either
mistake.
way, they made the wrong mistake.
They made the wrong mistake. They did. When what's his name?
It was
Tony,
not fucking as deep as it gets.
Right. So when Tony was like, obviously, like, we do different things, it's not that deep, yeah. Siegfried then sends them a letter from a lawyer, yeah. And Tony is me, because Tony is petty bitch. You go, okay, bet, cool. Because what do you mean you have a monopoly on magic? Are you crazy? If I want to do magic, I'll do magic. What are you talking about?
Are you Merlin? Like,
exactly. Are you
Houdini? Like,
fam. I was going to tell you the Wizard of Oz, but it turns out he can't even do magic.
No,
which was a shock to me. I was like, oh my God. I was watching the movie like, escandalo.
Watches Wizard of Oz once.
I know, I literally did in the cinema.
Wicked.
I haven't even seen it in theatre. I watched Wicked. I still haven't seen Wizard of Oz. But what's it? Yeah, so Tony's like, okay, bet. Yeah, fine. All of a sudden, in this what was a tame documentary, we hear about how Tony's parents' house got shot up. So his dad runs into the crib, he gets a gun, he shoots back. I said, you man are on it, yeah. And no one was hurt, but Tony's like, I think that was Siegfried.
But this is insane. This is over magic.
It's so about potential magic, because at this point he hasn't even done a single trick.
He hasn't even started.
He doesn't even have the dove yet. He ain't even got like the napkin or whatever they do. He hasn't got any of it.
Do you remember when Job from
Arrested Development,
he went to go and get the dove, and then as he was leaving, he put the dove in his pocket. As he was leaving, he like walked into the door, and the dove died. He came back. He said, "Oh, this one is broken." You know, I'm gonna rewatch Arrested Development.
I know. I watched it recently.
So good.
I watched it recently, so I need to give it some time. Then I'll go back.
I'm doing Bob's Burgers now as my like.
Where are you watching it? Was it on Disney Plus?
Yeah.
Okay. On my days, there was the episode of Archer, because you know I'm rewatching Archer, yeah?
Where there's a crossover.
Yeah. And I literally was like, oh my God, has she seen
because
this?
it's the same guy.
Oh, is it?
Archer is Bob.
I rate voice actors so much.
And what's her face? Oh,
Pam.
God. No, not Pam. Pam is the black girl from Friends that was dating Ross at a point.
Yeah.
The mum, we know who the mum is. But Louise was in an episode of Archer, and so was Jean. Obviously, the voice actors, not
the
them.
voice. Well, yeah.
But obviously, then Archer was in Bob as well.
I was watching it like you're looking around for who can I explain. Like,
it's the same guy. It's so funny because I know his voice.
He must be making money.
Yeah, I know his voice is the same, but Bob and Archer are so different to me. Like when I hear Archer is Archer. When I hear Bob, Bob is Bob. But I know in logically that the voices are the same.
Yeah.
But I can't like.
But that's the skill of a voice actor.
I'm telling you. I mean? It's he doesn't even change his voice, but it's just like when I listen to if I listen to Archer. Sorry, I could tell it was Archer if I listened to Bob, but it's the same voice.
But it's also the writing. The writing is really good.
Yeah.
In Archer, yeah.
Somebody was like, Bob's toxic trait is he actually doesn't want his restaurant to succeed, but he just blames his family, and it's true. The more I watch, I can't unsee it. It's his inner saboteur. Like sometimes people actually are scared of doing well, or they just don't want to do well. There was an episode where he was going to buy they were going to rent the other room from Mr. Fish Odor and expand the thing and make it a proper restaurant, which was what he always wanted. Then he started having dreams, and then he decided not to, and then he'll always blame his family. Anyways, what's about that? Men. Even in cartoons, you can't trust them.
You can't trust them. Speaking of trust, anyway, so Tony and the family are training ligers, tigers, ligers, you know.
Ligers. They're real things, aren't they?
What am I talking about?
Aren't they real things?
I think so. I think they're bred.
Yeah, they're bred, but they exist.
Okay, cool. Well, great. Ligers.
But they were not in this documentary.
Lions, tigers, and leopards. I saw this post on Twitter, which was showing the difference between tigers, leopards, cheetahs, and panthers.
I don't give a flying Fercos.
Cheetahs
because
are like cheetahs.
Either one I see, I'm running.
I'm wearing. Oh, sorry. Okay.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean,
cheetahs are the spots. Cheetah girls, cheetah sisters.
Yeah.
Tigers, obviously, the stripes, and then the leopards have like the little it's like a circle and then a dot in the middle.
You getting close enough to see all of this?
And then no, actually, in fact, I shan't be. In fact, that's true. That's actually very true.
Panthers on the
blacks. The past 5 minutes. So they. At this point, I'm like, these guys are actually kind of like, this family is actually kind of cool. Like, they're actually saucy. Like, they are
saucy.
Imagine if this was your like granddad's.
Yeah, it's like a mafia family.
It's like a mafia family. That's it.
It's like it's giving The Godfather,
but meets Tiger King.
Yeah,
meets Hulk Hogan and them, man.
Yeah, like I love that for them. I love that for me to be able to watch it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. So there's this bit about their management, and this is what Ferenz was alluding to before. So the guy who found them, you know, like loyalty, but also like think big. Right, but think big, yeah? So they stick with him and they stay at the dunes despite the fact that the MGM man offered them an offer, yeah? So Siegfried and Roy, they end up signing a huge deal with Mirage and they made $40 million.
This is
in
why
the 70s.
In life, sometimes it's not just praying for opportunities, it's praying for wisdom. For wisdom, yeah. Because the opportunity... And favour to meet the people that will carry you through. Because the opportunity met the preparation, but the wisdom was not there.
Was not there.
To seal the deal.
Because
they even said that they regretted it.
Of course they will. Because you had so much... Like, you had... Some people... They don't have the opportunity. They don't have the preparation. They don't have the talent. Yeah. You people had all three. All you needed was a bit of wisdom and also less ego. I think ego played a huge part in.
Yeah, there were men. Too many men involved.
Yeah, too many men.
Well, do you know what's so funny? There was a bit where they were all playing with like these big cats, and they were in like these men or in speedos, and I was like, this is hilarious.
I was like, you don't like.
I'm sorry, but. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I found the cats cute because they reminded me a lot of Aubrey. Like, I was just like, Aubrey, these are your ancestors? Yeah, these are your ancestors. Like, oh my God.
This is from whence you came.
Literally, I could see his face in these cats. I could see him. Like, I just wanted to kiss them. But also, no. We need to get to the point where we understand that there are some animals that are not to be domesticated. They are for the wild. Yep. Stop trying to make fetch a thing. Stop trying to make it a thing.
Stop trying to make fetch happen. It's not.
Stop thinking, I raised it from a baby. No, like.
But again, that's where the ego kind of comes in, right? Because you think you're special. Yeah. When actually you are meat that they know. Okay, I'm meat that they don't know. Yeah. But we're both meat.
Yeah. No.
I just think it's I just think it's irresponsible as well. And also, I was like, all this time, I was like, where are they living that you can just have like lions in your backyard? Like, I don't get it.
They had a lot of land though, because if you see it at the end as well. That's where they lived.
No, fair. Now we get into some drama, as if there hasn't been drama already. So far, as we mentioned at the beginning, it's been the siblings, right? We had Tony, we had Fercos or Ferdinand, we had the sisters Dasha and Olga. So they're splitting the money 4 ways. Cool. Tony marries this lady called Virginia. She was a dancer in Las Vegas. And his brother marries a lady called Julia. And then they tell us that Dasha and Olga have kids. They don't mention whether they're married. They just said that they have kids.
Yeah, okay, that was so interesting.
It was so weird. I was like, okay, baby mate. But we meet Dasha's husband later. So I'm just like,
I don't know why they said that.
It was so random. Yeah. It just reduced them to like baby making machines. It's like, they had kids, so they weren't really useful anymore. I was like, okay. So someone tells Dasha, she's like, oh, by the way, like, do you know that when you guys finish doing the show, their wives wear your costumes? And Dasha was like, the fuck? And asked Tony.
Inside the bum.
I was like, first of all, and I've sweated all over this thing.
And you put on my.
It's like you want to be me so bad, like
so bad. You don't care about my crotch juice.
Literally, my crotch juice. You do this. Okay, well, and then your brother. Anyway, so
and then your brother.
Okay, so said, is that in it? It's like familiar.
Oh, salty.
Red card. So then, Dasha goes to, and I love people that are direct like this. Dasha goes to Tony and was like, what the fuck, bro?
Literally.
What's going on? Are they going to take our place? And he was like, yeah.
But how you deduce that from they trying your clothes? I would have just been, oh, it's weird that your wife's trying on my clothes. Like, how did she get, it was a hop, jump and a leap.
Yeah, it was. It was a somersault.
Literally, she jumped to the conclusion, but she was right.
She was right. So they now decide they're going to do the show with their wives. And of course this causes drama. This is the kind of like family drama that goes forward into like the decades and decades and decades and decades and generations. And you wonder why Auntie Dasha doesn't come to Thanksgiving. It's because 30 years ago.
Do you know what's so funny? I used to hear people say like, oh, they don't talk to this person in their family, they don't talk to that person in their family, and I wouldn't understand it because I came from a family that just, it wasn't like that. We talk to everyone. Now in further, deeper adulthood, it's so easy to see how generational.
Yep.
I don't know
how everything's passed on. Yeah. It's inherited. The beef is inherited.
It's inherited, and the beef will start from something that is so small that could have been rectified.
Resolved. Yeah.
And it just wasn't. Yeah. And this is the perfect example. But also, when I was watching this, I was like, this also reiterated a lot of things that I also have seen with my own two eyes. That like, you see, when it comes to family setups, men will always be the weakest link. Like, you have siblings, and I understand that your wife comes first, but you have sisters, same womb, you shared a womb, your roommate, raised, you guys have been doing this for time, you
raised together, you worked together, you've made it together.
Then because you're married, you forget your family. Like, I'm not saying that they shouldn't have put their wives on, but you could have expanded the show. Why did you have to get rid of your sister? Like,
and basically cut off your sister's bag. That's actually that's vile.
It did them dirty. That was and you on your own show. Like,
you highlighted the fact that they have kids, so you basically you're fucking up their bag, which is going to help with their kids.
To be honest, it looked as if the sisters did better off than them in the end. But we'll get to that. But yeah,
Dash's husband is so lovely. Like, she really won with him.
She really did, and I think he has money. No, I think it's the other one. I don't know. I don't remember. But either way, I just think like men are the
that was dirty, man.
Weakest fucking links, mate. Absolutely that was filthy. Filthy.
And then we hear, and I believe this part, that Dasha and Olga were like harassing the wives.
Oh yeah.
I 100% believe it, and I can't say that I disagree with their choices.
I don't disagree. As a woman, I would not have taken this, but I'd have been like to my husband, you're moving mad. You? Like, that's your sister. Add us in, but don't.
And also, it's not like they were sitting at home jobless. Like, they met them because they were performers. Yeah. They were already doing their own performances.
So why do you have to take over this?
Very bizarre. Anyway, the sisters take it to court, and the judge said they should receive millions of dollars, and the brothers get pissed off. Okay, well, do me, I do you. Yeah, how about that? I was team sisters the whole time.
All the way.
So the brothers get their own show and they take it on the road. They go to Malaysia, Italy, Spain, Japan. They go to everywhere. Yeah, they go to so many places. And my first thought in this part was like, how would they take in the lions and tigers and bears to the abroad? How is that happening?
They're special, like.
Yeah, they answered me later. But at that point, I was like, what's all this then? And bear in mind, the brothers did everything. They trained the animals. They produced the show. They did everything. They hired these like guys, these random guys, to be animal trainers. But did you see them on stage that wearing their thongs?
I did, but it's not a risk I would take. Like, even if I decided that I was going to start playing with big animals, I would get a professional. I'm not going to take like a bodybuilder and be like, oh yeah, surely you can do it. What are you talking about, mate?
No, this was delusion. This is where it turned from, oh yeah, I'm great, I can make the most out of any situation, I can teach myself things, to like delusions of grandeur. Yeah. Because what the heck? Like, it's unsafe at this point. Like, and I think they were so deluded that they really thought that these animals were their friends or like were their boys.
They were part. Like, they say it later. They treated them like part of their family.
The family.
They treat them how we treat Aubrey. Be so for real.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, I get it in theory, but like, how even people's real family, like human beings, you can have in the back of your mind, oh, I love this uncle so much, but I know he's a bit tapped, or I love this auntie so much, but I love to be careful because she's got sticky fingers. Yeah. Do you get what I mean? You can be like, all right, cool, I love this person, or this is my family, but I know that they could hurt me.
Yeah.
This is you can't even reason. You can't reason with an animal. I'm sorry, like, I don't know. I wrote later on, like, I think that Tony was missing. So in your brain, and correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like the part that like frontal registers lobe or processes fear is the amygdala, right?
Oh, I thought it was
feel lobe. Like
I thought it was frontal lobe.
maybe it's in the frontal lobe. I don't know where it is, but I feel like it's the amygdala. I could be wrong. Whatever it is, I don't think he has it. Yeah, it's underdeveloped or it's damaged or there's a tumor growing there or something. Because it's not normal to be this fearless.
I wrote that Tony was Tyler Perry. He felt like he had to do everything himself when there was no need.
He's every woman is all in him.
It's literally Bob the Builder. You do.
Do you know what?
You do.
I feel like. I was going to say Tyler.
Relate. You said
I feel like I was going to say I feel like Tyler. I feel like Tony was. It was one of them things where this whole thing was so precious to him, and it was like, imagine you have an idea, you're in a shit situation, and it pops off, and then you're successful. It was like, I need to protect this at all costs, right? But at the same time, it's like you have to outgrow that because you're successful. Like you already trusted the promoter to get you to where you needed to be.
You've then taken it.
Why now would you not spend your efforts being able to focus on what it is you're good at?
On your craft and not worry about building things on the stage. Because the fact that all those things they built and they used like reused metal and all of that, the fact that nobody had a major accident is a miracle.
Yeah.
It's
and that's what it is.
There's a living God.
I feel like he was living like luck to luck to luck to luck. And with every time he was lucky, he just got higher up on this ego trip.
Thinking that he
and then think. Because even if we forget the safety side of things, even if we think about the money side of things, for me, say this podcast were to blow, first thing I'm thinking is who can manage this thing? Because I'm not a business person.
Yeah.
I'm not an accountant. I don't know the best way to do these things. And if you want something to be successful, you have to relinquish the control.
Yeah, you do.
Do you know what I mean? And I just feel like Tony never did that.
As well.
Tony didn't know his limitations. Yeah. And it costs. Basically, sorry, this is so higgy. I put down, as hardworking as they weren't business people, right? Everything was cheap, what Ferenc just said. Going back to the transportation of the animals, we hear the story from the animal handler.
Oh my God, this was terrible.
They put the animal, the lion, the family member that they love so much, in a U-Haul truck, close the little thingy, it's pitch black, the animal's in there, Pavel's in there, the animal handler, with a baseball bat.
I loved that animal guy so much.
Huh?
I loved...
He was the highlight of this documentary. Highlight of this documentary. And he was loving it. He don't have no amygdala either.
He doesn't.
He is tapped, They're in the back of this truck in the dark. The animal, understandably, is freaking out. Because where are we going and what is going on?
I would sue them after this. We're going straight
I feel like Pavel would pay them to do it again. Like he's
tapped, so he would.
Yeah, he is. But the animal's like jumping around in the thing. Meanwhile, the car is driving on the road.
Can you imagine? They opened up. This man had scratches all over him. It's a miracle he was alive.
It's actually, I feel like he loved it. Adrenaline junkie.
No, oh my gosh. I was scared listening to it.
To the story. But you know, another good thing that this documentary did, is they had like, what's that called? What's it called? Not reenactments. They had like animations.
Yeah, I love animations. You know, like that's why I love the worst roommate and the worst.
Oh yeah.
Because they have really good. I love that. That is what you should be doing. Not you coming and reenacting yourself. Like, are you stupid? Are you dumb?
Maybe they get paid twice.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so I loved the animations because I feel like it really told the story. And because we're talking about quite gruesome and like kind of like low-key brutal stuff, it was nice.
The edge off.
It takes the edge off, exactly. Another thing I said later on, but I'm just going to say now, is the documentary, the music, the score that they used was really, really effective.
It really gave a build-up. Like, you felt like something was going to happen.
Yes.
And you're waiting, like, when's it going to happen? There was even a point where I fast-forwarded a bit. Like, I went back, but I was like, is something going to happen? Because I'm on the edge of my seat.
I feel it.
Yeah.
And do you know what? When I was watching the documentary, I was just like, I never, ever, ever would have put this documentary on our schedule.
Yeah.
Never. I never would have. But I watched it and I'm like, I'm so happy that I watched it.
Yeah. Like, it brings so much. I mean, there's some sad bits, but it brings joy. Like,
it was well-rounded, I would say.
Yeah.
So, now we get into Tony, okay? Tony don't come no more.
For real.
Everyone is basically, you get like a round robin of talking heads, and the talking heads are basically like family members, people who worked with the thing. So you get the two generations, the uncles and aunties, and then the kids, and then you get people who work with them on the side. So everyone's basically saying, Tony did what he wanted. He didn't adhere to rules. He always thought he was right. And this is not surprising at this point in the documentary. You've seen enough of him to like realize that, this makes sense. Another thing is that like he always took animals to the places that he wasn't supposed to. he didn't give a heck, right? And at this point, I'm thinking in the documentary, okay, you've shown us all this just by nature of showing us Tony, and now you're reiterating all this. Where are we going? Where is this documentary going? What's about to happen? And then this combined with the music, you're thinking something is afoot. Yeah? Something's about to happen. Okay. So basically, he's a deadbeat dad. And his wife is basically a single mum.
Yep.
His son and daughter say they only really spent time with him when they were helping him build props,
yep.
which he, out of his own mouth, the kid describes as slave labor.
Yeah.
Which it was. And on top of that, he cheats on his wife.
He doesn't cheat. Like he's cheating like regularly. It's not
a
a one-off.
He's a cheater.
Like, he just
not
like
a tiger, not a leopard. He is a cheater.
A cheater.
Okay?
And do you know what's so wild about that as well? Like, somebody was saying that, he felt bad because he had family. And then they cut to Tony, and Tony was like, I never regretted it once.
As in, cut to Tony today, who's had time to reflect, time to think about it, time to change. And he said, I don't regret it.
Them men
I would do it again.
He was like, given a chance, I'll do it again.
Tony, do you know what? He was himself.
He was the worst of men and the worst of men.
And the worst of men. No, for real. I was like, that's insane.
That is insane.
For you to not support me and then cheat on me and then not regret cheating on me.
A whole me?
And then on top of that, to add injury to insult, and I'm saying it that way around on purpose, yeah? One of the panthers bit her face.
So now you've like marred me.
I want to leave you, and now I have to think about my market. With the panther.
Literally, because you've shrunken my market now to probably 2 men.
It's just...
Yeah,
I bet she regretted ever giving him her number.
She rused the day she met him.
Fam.
God. I do for her.
Fam, she's...
And the whole family was just like, yeah, like he was too reckless.
Yeah.
He was too reckless.
I feel like he was that way. Like, it was always in him. Yeah. And then when he got successful and made money and stuff, he then had access to... Yeah. Exactly. Because I feel like there's some men who, like, they don't cheat because they can't. Like, you're not really... No one's checking for you like that.
And do you know what? The thing of the matter is, that's why, like, when people say, oh, money did it... It's not money that made your man cheat. It just gave him the access or the ability to do so. He always had it in him to do this. Like, and that's the truth. Like, some people, a lot of men don't cheat because they don't have the access to. They can't afford the what it takes to cheat.
Or the money doesn't make them attractive to people who want to sleep with them, yeah.
That's it.
Boy. So, in 2002, Roy of Siegfried and Roy was attacked by an animal. And they tell us it was a really serious attack, okay? And he tries to frame it as...
He had a stroke. Are you dumb?
As in, not just he had a stroke, but he had a stroke and the animal was trying to, like, save him.
What kind of Kool-Aid are you sipping?
I was like, by biting your neck.
And everyone was like, are you dumb? This was no, like, love relationship. He tried to bite your neck.
But I get why he's tried to frame it like that, because that's going to fuck up the bag. And it does, because afterwards, Vegas are like, sorry about it. We don't want no animals on stage. We can't afford to do this. We'll see waiting to happen.
It was stupid.
It was stupid.
Like, this. I'm so sorry, we haven't even discussed this. This is like the way Blake Lively and co are trying to argue that video shows that she was uncomfortable.
What happened? What happened? What is going on with that?
Have you not been following it? We need to do credits on that once. I just want the dust to settle first, so that if I say what I want to say, they won't cancel me before we've even started.
I started to watch that video because it came up on my timeline, and then there was just a lot happening, and I was
because you haven't been following it, you don't get it.
No, I had seen some things, but I haven't actively followed it. If something pops up, maybe I look, maybe I don't.
Basically, obviously, after this movie, really, really quick rundown. What's a rundown? I'll tell you what a rundown is. After that stupid It Ends With Us movie, because that movie is not worth a quarter of the hype.
Did you watch it?
Yeah, I watched it. I had to watch it because I had to see what...
Oh, you watched it after the thing?
Yeah.
Oh, I was asking, had you watched it and then this happened?
But it's shit because of her. Anyways, first of all, when the movie dropped, everyone was like, Blake Lively, like, the way she's carrying herself isn't great. This is a movie about DV. She is not promoting that. She's talking about Bring Your Florals. Then she's, like, promoting Betty Booze. And then which is her drinks band. And then she's, like, doing stuff with Deadpool. And then she's, like, promoting her hair care line. Like, this is messy. So she was getting a lot of bad PR. But that would have blown over. Okay. Like, we would have forgotten about it. It was fine. People were really hyping up Justin Baldoni. It was his first directorial debut. Like, he really cared about DV. He'd done a lot of research. He'd read the book. Blah, blah, blah. Then next thing, months later, she drops this lawsuit saying he sexually harassed her, that there was no intimacy coach, he went off script, he kept talking about, like, his sex addiction, or it's not sex addiction, porn addiction. Okay, and
I think I saw that.
Basically, since then, his lawyer has been dropping receipt after receipt after receipts,
proof, timeline, screenshots, fucking everything.
I am so shy for her. Like, when another thing drops, I'm like, oh, I'm so shy. Like, half of her case was built on this video where she said that he went off script. He was talking when they didn't need to talk. He was telling her that she smelt good in a sexual way. The video refutes all of that. He was talking to her like a normal person. Next thing, he's like, cut. My heart hurt because I was like, nah, like, obviously they were acting romantically, so you were gonna fall in love with him. And then he yells cut and he rips that dream out of you. Like, I felt her pain. But that doesn't mean you should lie.
Save it for the credits.
I have so much to say about
I can tell. You're getting heated, girl.
No, I'm getting heated because, anyways. So I just want the dust to settle so we can have a credits. Okay. Because the true crime is Blake.
Let's save it for... Do you even need the credits anymore? Okay.
So sorry.
So, after the stroke/tiger attack, Vegas say no more animals, okay? And
the Fercos start doing shows in China.
Yes.
China.
They start doing shows in China. And, I know you don't watch Drag Race, yeah? But RIP to the Vivienne, who was the first ever winner of UK's Drag Race. And the reason I bring her up is because she did an amazing Trump impression.
Oh, did
it was so good. I'm going to send it to you. And the reason I remember this is because she goes, China, the way you just did it.
How did she die?
We don't know.
Oh, they didn't say.
Yeah, they didn't say. But she was like 31 or 32 or something.
That's what I was wondering. Was she old? Like,
no, she was like 32.
Oh, that's
but
sad.
She was, you know when, like, someone's really a talent, you are a witty motherfucker. You are so charismatic and so funny and, like, anyway, really, really sad. Really, really sad. But sorry, that just reminded me of her. RIP to her, man. I'll send you the Trump impression.
Please do.
So they go to China and the shows are, they're going all right until this fateful day. Okay. And do you know what's the most annoying part of this as well is that what happens to Dashenka. Dashenka is daughter of Dasha. Dasha is sister of Tony.
But they needed to give us context as to how
they got back together, right?
Yeah. Because that was not...
Thank you. I said the same thing. This documentary was 1 hour and 28 minutes, yeah? And I'm telling you, they could have added another 15 minutes. I wouldn't have minded, yeah? Because I would have taken those 15 minutes extra to learn how did we go from, the tea. How could we go from them fucking up the base to now we're cool enough that I'm not just on tour with you. We're in China.
It's not like you're performing.
And my family's there.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
So they could have been a lot clearer with that. But Dashenka gets attacked by the tiger. And this is another example of when the animation was really, really helpful for us to imagine what happened. So she's standing, there's a curtain. She's standing in front of the curtain. The tiger's being walked behind the curtain to somewhere. I don't know if he smelled blood or whatever, but the tiger grabs her ankle through the curtain and drags her. This is giving horror movie.
Yeah.
Drags her. And then we see, like, pictures of her leg.
It is mold.
It's fucked, fam. I cannot lie. I cannot lie.
A lie I cannot tell. That was horrible.
It was mad. They should have been like, warning, warning, warning. It was disgusting.
All the
and then
warnings.
the biggest worry now is, okay, cool, are they going to amputate her leg? Okay. Even after all of that, because this happens, I think, before a show. Yeah. Even after that, the show must go on.
That very day with the same tiger. That has a taste for human flesh.
That has the taste of human flesh.
There is not an amount you could pay me to be on that stage with that tiger.
And you know what? The sons, Tony's sons, do a little bit of like victim blaming there, and they're like, "Why are you
on stage?
Why are you on stage when you don't need to be there?
Shut the hell up." That's your cousin, listen, first cousin at that.
I was like, fam. I was like, listen. It's like saying, why were you born then? If you weren't around, this wouldn't have happened to you. Shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Because now you're taking it personally because you're chilling with the tiger.
Literally.
Nah, it pissed me off. So the parents are crying. Like Dashenka, Alberto, her husband, they are thinking, wow, look at what I've done. I've ruined my child's life. Anyway, we see so much footage. We see them treating the leg, and we see young Dashenka, as it happened, basically like recounting how she's feeling at the time.
Yes.
Which must be so trippy for her to be able to watch now in her adulthood with her leg, because they saved the leg.
Sidebar, she was like really pretty as a girl, and she's beautiful. Super hot now. Beautiful.
But look at her mum. And her dad is a thing as well.
Her dad is a thing as well. So
I was like, okay, thank
beauty
God it went
begets
the way it
beauty.
Beauty, exactly. So now we have the issue of the hospital bill, because this is not the NHS, okay? The show, turns out, wasn't insured, which is insane.
Was it that it wasn't insured, or it was, but they refused to pay? What was the...
I think that it was... I don't know.
I wouldn't put it past Tony signing up for something just for, like... Just to do it.
Yeah,
and not reading the
terms and conditions. Mm-hmm. But either way, China were like, we're not paying that shit. Yeah. And so then we see footage again, so much footage. We see the footage of Tony arguing with Dasha and Alberto. And Tony's basically being like, well, just fucking leave the hospital then. Just don't pay, just leave. And they are like, listen, these people have saved our daughter's leg. What the fuck do you mean just leave? Like, we should be able to pay them.
I get it, but...
I would just leave.
Like, they're not like, it's not a, what's that thing, convent or convent, where nuns stay, or monks, monastery. Like, yeah, I get it. Like, they helped you and stuff. And don't get it twisted. I'm not trying to belittle like the work doctors do. Trust me, I'm married to Med. But
How long have you had that in the chamber?
I swear it just came to my mind now. But I actually am married to Med. I'm Dr. Heavenly, Daddy. No, I would not be heavenly. But no. Just leave. Just fucking leave. Like, crying and like, they didn't do it out of the goodness of their heart. They did it because it's their job. Like, you can't pay. Yeah. Like, settle it. Like, but are you going to hold yourself hostage? Like, what are you going to do? Sell your kidney? Like, leave. But
I understand where you're coming from. But the point that I took away from this is Tony was dismissive as fuck.
Oh, like, no, 100%.
It was very like, oh, just leave them. I was like,
but then also sometimes, I get it. Trust me, because I'm not that way and I'm very emotional. But sometimes you do need someone like that in a situation. Why is Dasha's crying? Why are you crying? They've saved her leg. You're crying because these people saved your daughter's leg. Now you don't have money to pay. What are you going to do? Like,
you know what I think? I feel like
Alberto crying too.
Listen, I get it. I agree. But I feel like nothing happens in isolation. Yeah. And so this, I feel like the tears were also tears of frustration, because if I just didn't fuck with you, like I wasn't fucking with you when you replaced me with your wife, this wouldn't be happening. Yeah. And if something had happened to her, I think she probably could have affirmed it more. But it happened to her daughter.
She said, I wish it was me. Like, so I get it.
It's literally like, fun, because you decided to fuck with your brother again, who clearly showed you that he doesn't care about you in that way. Your daughter now has perished, and
it's
her life
definitely
is going to be different.
I think
stress. It's compounded. Exactly. So anyway, after this, the beef. There's more beef. Okay, so lawyers get involved because of the whole China thing, and they stop performing because they're basically like, okay, well, hospital bills aren't paid, so we're going to stop performing. Yeah. I don't think this was Tony's idea. I feel like Tony would have performed.
Tony would have his dying breath to the bitter end, to the day that they dragged him out till Victoria the Tiger ate him.
Yeah.
That's when he would have stopped.
Absolutely.
Because he has no morals and principles, so he doesn't give a heck
He doesn't give a fuck.
No.
So, just when you think it can't get any madder, yeah, they get robbed.
I did not know the Yakuza were on this kind of crud.
Do you know what? It didn't surprise me, because I was like, from when they were like, yeah, we're not paying this hospital bill, I said, okay, these people, they didn't know who they were messing with.
They didn't come to play.
They didn't come to play. They came to slay. Okay. And so they get robbed. All the equipment's gone. Stuff to feed the animals gone. Everything's gone. Yeah. And so they also stop paying for the hotel. So when the people are trying to leave, they now get arrested because they're like, you're not trying to pay. I said, people have pettied before, but they've never pettied like this.
But this is mad though. They don't even give a heck.
They don't give a heck. They don't give a fuck. So China flops, essentially. They lose bare money.
Financial disaster. Oh, and that's not all. They steal their equipment.
Oh, yeah.
Like, so did you just say that?
Yeah.
Oh.
Everything. The props,
Sorry.
the cages, everything.
I didn't process that in my head. But yes, everything. That's mad.
So you can't do your show now?
You can't do your show. Like, if you thought you were going to do your show, you're not going to do that show.
If you're not doing it here, you're not doing it anywhere. If we can't have you, nobody can. That's what China said.
Crazy.
So, financial ruin, as Foreign said. And then now we're in 2011. Okay.
And they're desperate for cash. Cash money.
Cash rules everything around them. So they get an offer to do a reality TV show, a documentary on the Fercos. And this show would kind of be based around them passing the show on to the kids. Okay.
Which was stupid.
Which was stupid because they weren't really trained in the same way. Like, they didn't have the skills.
They didn't have the talent.
They didn't have the facilities, big man. Like, they couldn't really do it. But I do think it was a good idea in theory for a reality show, because it's like, oh, great. Because I think with a good reality show, especially ones about families and stuff, there's something, there's an event or there's a process or there's something for it to end on. And for them, it was opening night of like the show they were doing, which obviously flopped and it was shit.
Abysmally. First of all, the appetite isn't even there for these things anymore. Second of all, like, I could tell from what the boys were practicing that they were going to be rubbish.
When I saw the dance, I said, "Why are we doing choreography, bro? It's giving TikTok dance."
Honestly, yeah, no.
It wasn't gonna succeed. It didn't succeed. So, you know,
the network,
it's done. They cancel it. Everyone's disappointed. Everyone's really sad. And then the documentary is like coming to an end now, and basically like the animals die. Like, okay, they do die, but the whole thing is outdated now. No one's really doing all that. The show is obsolete. The animals are dying. The
house is derelict.
Yeah, it when we say like going outside, it's like they actually kind of went outside.
That's what I'm saying. They went outside. I think though, like, there's scope for I literally wrote it at the end. It's a shame that the reality TV show didn't pick up, because it's a crackhead family. Like, I think they would make such good TV. Like, I think they should have seen that through, but maybe change the
direction of it.
Yeah, because
I think it should really be focused on the parents. It should really be about the kids. The kids should be side characters.
I think the kids would add something to it, but the parents, they're old now. They'll be cantankerous.
And they have so much hate.
Yeah.
And like beef. They really would.
Like, let's explore that. Fight it out. Like, stomp out at dinner. Like, shout at each other in Amsterdam.
Yeah. But I do think that, like, this documentary was like a full circle moment. Like, I think it gave them the shine that they actually deserved. Do you know what I mean?
I think it gave them their flowers.
Exactly. I think it gave them their flowers, and it was done in a way where it kind of told their story. We saw the ups and downs, like we saw the growth, we saw the rise, we saw the fall, and they were able to be part of that. It wasn't like, oh, this documentary is in honor of someone and now he's dead. It's like he's very much alive and part of it. So, you know, he can watch this all the time whenever his ego is a little bit hurt.
I do hope, though, that something comes out of this documentary. They are people we need to see in the media.
Yeah, more of.
Yeah.
I mean, they probably are around. Like, they just were never in my, like, world.
I don't think they're around like that. I went on their Instagrams. It's not.
Oh, it's not
like, but it's amazing that I'm really happy that someone decided to make a documentary. But I want to see them. I want to see them win.
Yeah, they deserve, especially the sisters. So I've put that this documentary is a lesson in knowing when to end things, because they could have ended on a high. Also about knowing what your limitations are. If you need help, accept it. If you're not the best at something, yeah, great, strive to be better at it. But maybe if money's involved and safety's involved, you know, you look for other things. But now it's time for
the real crime, I think, was the beard.
Our segment where we focus on something during the documentary that may not be criminal, but we definitely consider to be a crime. I have several.
You go first.
Should I go? Okay. The real crime, I think, was the shared breastfeeding. There was a bit in the beginning.
Oh, I actually thought that was really cute.
Okay, there was a bit in the beginning where they were talking about how, like, the aunties, obviously they would like perform and stuff. So one auntie would be breastfeeding the baby, and then she'd have to go and perform, and then the next auntie would be breastfeeding the baby. And I was like, did we not have bottles? Like, was there not a better way or a more efficient way for us to?
I don't really see a problem with that. Do you know that? I'd breastfeed my sister's kid if they needed it.
I would do whatever my sister needed me to do. I just thought it was very strange that
I'd do it for my friend if my friend needed me to do it.
I don't doubt that. I don't doubt it.
I don't think there's anything wrong with it. It's about
how the passing on. It was like a conveyor belt of breastfeeding. The child
needs to feed and the mama gotta work.
Okay, girl. The real crime, I think, was the babies on the lions. So when we see all the footage of all the performances and stuff, you know, they're trying to push the boundaries, the limits, they're trying to do that. And then there was a baby on a wild animal.
But I saw that as one of the but the audience's kids. Because wasn't that when everyone...
It was one of the audience's kids.
Why the fuck would you do that? Why would you do that?
I said, child social services, where are you at?
CPS.
That's insane to me. Because anything could have happened. That tiger could have had that baby in one bite.
No bueno.
The real crime, I think...
Literally gobbled it up in one bite.
Literally. Pavel, the... animal handler, my fave, my babe. He's been divorced 5 times.
He said that, and I said, "Yeah, I bet you have."
It makes sense.
Yeah,
he seems like he really just goes for it, and then he says, "Uh oh," or they say, "Uh oh."
Uh oh. What are we doing here?
5 times.
I can see it.
You know, it's not by force to marry. You don't have to marry. You can actually just be with someone.
You can actually just be in a relationship.
You can just be in a relationship, babe.
And end when it's not working.
Do you know how much paperwork? Anyway, what was yours?
Mine was actually, I mean, there were quite a few, but I just put it down to these are who the people are. But mine was that, what's his name? Tony has the same haircut he's had since 1970, whatever.
Just with less at the top.
Yeah. It gets to a point where this is not like move of the times. That for me was a massive crime. Also, the crime was when the sons were trying to learn whatever, the dance. And they had actually zero rhythm. And it was like, how did you think that this was ever going to be a success when this is how these people are dancing?
Yeah. The crime was that choreography.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
But yeah. I really enjoyed it. I'd recommend watching it. You can watch it on Apple TV, Amazon Prime, and Google Play.
Watch it. I honestly, guys, I would recommend watching it. Like, it's really, I don't know if feel good TV is the right thing, but
it is feel good, but there's also drama.
Yeah, like it has everything. You're gonna laugh. You're gonna like be like, oh my god, there's everything in one. Like, I love it. Please get these guys on some sort of reality TV show.
Yeah, it was very interesting. I'm telling you, when I first saw it, when I first got the email, I was like, okay.
I was like, oh my god, yes, because I thought it was the Flying. And just to put it out there, this is another family that does something similar. I don't know if they're as crazy as this family.
Where are they from?
They are from America. So when I was watching, I was like, I don't think it's the right people. So I went back and I listened to the podcast where I'd heard of them, and I was like, it's a different whatever. But the reason I knew
same vibe, but different people.
Yeah, the reason I knew of them is because there was this fire called the Hatford Fire, and it was a circus fire where basically, like, this was back in the day where the circus would be like made out of
that plastic tent.
Yeah. And then it had like some really flammable gas that they used to put in it or whatever. So the thing went on fire, and then the Flying were leaders, like, they helped save people. And it was, then they were saying on the podcast how they're like a generation of like circus folk, and like till today they exist. So I was like, oh my gosh, this is so interesting.
Oh, that's crazy.
And also, like, I really liked this as well because it reminded me of my childhood. My mum used to take us to, I don't know if you remember this circus in Brent Cross, Zippers Circus.
Yeah, Zippers. Yeah, I remember.
My mum used to take us there every summer. Like, my parents tried. Like,
I used to love that shit, man.
Circus
was really fun.
Really fun. She'd take us there every summer. So it just reminded me of, like, you'd see the people doing the acrobatics, and they'd have the animals, and then you'd have it just reminded me of those times. So shout out, Mummy. Mummy, you tried. You did well.
It's so funny how, like things change, like things come and go, and like right now I don't think circuses are really that, you know, they're not really the vibe like that, but yeah, they're not. But I still see it though. I think I still see it when I drive. They do the fun fair.
Oh, but not the circus.
I don't know if they still do the circus.
I haven't ventured into those woods,
but they definitely do the fun fair.
But when I deep the fact that my mum was doing this, she was probably like 35, 36, not too much older than me, and she would take us, then she would take like our family friends, their kids as well. Yeah. What the?
You guys are going to sit down and watch this YouTube.
What the heck? What the heck?
It's one of those things where you don't know what you're capable of until you have to.
I hope so, because I came back from work today and the thought of coming home and someone's calling me mummy, that would have been my 13th reason. So I really hope
that, but I feel like when it happens, if it happens, then you will just have to firm it. What are you gonna do?
No, I know, but I'm just saying that I hope that I find some strength that I didn't know existed, because
I know
the thought of it now.
I know. Trust me. Listen, you are preaching to the choir.
Okay,
you are
guys.
preaching to the altos right now.
Those that have kids, let us know how you do it. We'd love to know.
Let us know how you do it. Let us know.
There is a girl that I'm like friends of a friend, but we're cool, and she is hot. She has a kid. She works.
Maybe she's hot, as in like she's good looking.
Yeah, like body tight. Has a kid. She works. Wakes up at 5 to go to the gym. Has a great social life. I am exhausted looking at her life.
I love that for her, man.
I love it for her. She obviously hasn't lost herself in marriage and kid, but I get tired because I can only imagine the strength of the Black Panther it takes to.
I can only imagine the social battery required.
Ask me the last time I went to the gym, and I have 0 kids.
Why?
Because I went last week, and then this week
Does it really feel like your gym? I hate January in the gym.
No,
everyone comes.
I go at off-peak times now.
Fine, okay.
But this week I got my lady flower, and I was like, yeah, there's only so much. I
actually can't come and die. Like, we have to pick.
Because this will be my 13th reason again. So no, like, I'm going to do the best I can, and
I'm going to do the best I can with what I got.
Shout out,
guys,
Mariah.
thank you so much for listening. We appreciate it. Thanks for commenting. We love a comment.
Yes.
I'm really praying that you see this, that you see us, that we see each other, because I swear to God, I am tired of the technical malfunctions.
I swear to God.
So what are we doing next?
We're doing Grizzly Man.
Okay.
I've been horny for that documentary for so long.
Keep talking about it. I'm just like, okay, girl, all right.
No, because why? This is another person that Icarus.
The documentary will reveal why.
Flew too close to the sun. Why are you all Icarusing?
Icarus and them, man.
Ugh. Have we learned nothing from the Greek mythology? Anyways.
No, we have not.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you. You can find us everywhere. Twitter, Facebook. Oh, nope. Are we on Facebook? Anyway, Two Girls, One Doc. Two Girls, One Doc podcast on TikTok. twogirls1doc@gmail.com. If you want us to cover something, if you have a documentary you want us to cover that you feel we would like, and anything else, then you let us know. Also, check out Kukuua Goods. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a little overlay, or I would have done it by now, of the products that she sent us, so you can see them while you're watching this. Yeah. And if you are listening on somewhere where you can't see us, you can go to YouTube. You can find us there. You can see our beautiful faces. This is a face straight from work. Okay, I haven't even wiped my brow. I literally came. And you know another thing about going to work?
This oil zone is from the stuff of the tea.
And the lights are just doing shining. But it's okay. I love my forehead now. It's giving Rihanna. I had a great day at work. It was fine. It was chill. Yeah. But the commute.
Is that why you were off? Could tell.
Off.
I can tell from your messages. I was saying a message, you give me the thumbs up response.
I don't know. Sometimes it's like, what's there to say? Like, I just want a thumbs up because I get it. And then I'm like, oh, this girl's going to now think I'm mad at her. Like,
I know. I've stopped thinking you're mad at me. I've dissented myself from everyone's life. So I just assume
if I'm mad at you, I promise you I'll come to you and tell you that I'm mad at you.
No, that's why I said I don't think it anymore. I just assume you got your own thing going on. I'm just like, oh, you probably got work or you're stressed.
Do you know what happened? Do you know what people do that really annoy me, on the commute? Sorry, you guys can go. You have to stay here. When you're walking, yeah? So, like, the station, that was just stairs, innit? Mm-hmm. And, like, a normal person would walk on the side of the staircase. You don't have to stand in the middle of the staircase because why would you do that? Other people want to go. You're strolling. Some people have a bus to catch, yeah? And this girl was just, like, right in the middle. So I said, there's no etiquette. We need to do etiquette lessons for the train.
You never know what people are going through. I got off the train today and there was an old man with a mop and a bucket. I assume he works at the station. But then, upon reflection, I said to myself,
"Was there water in the bucket?"
I didn't stop to look. Again, I'm not an inconsiderate commuter. But then I said to myself, "Why would you be mopping the stairs?" Like,
wait, he was actually mopping.
Okay, so this is all what it was. He was stood at the bottom of the stairs with mop and bucket, just staring straight into. But he was wearing what looked like the uniform that people who work at the thing wear. But he was just but this is peak. Like, we're all exiting the train because it's peak rush hour. Like, we're peak landing back in where we're going, right?
Yeah.
So this is after work. So obviously move away from the stairs. But then I also said to myself, the way my stairs are set up as well, they are outside. So my station is like an outside station.
Okay.
Why are you mopping? Right. So he was just stood there with the mop like this, staring ahead. I kept looking back at him. I was like, oh yeah, like something.
He's going through some shit. He's going through some shit.
I
have a special grace that I apply for old people, because they've been here a while. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I really empathize with them because I just feel like
they've seen enough.
They've seen enough.
Like,
and also the world has changed before their eyes, and I don't know how I would. I'm nostalgic about 2016. They are nostalgic about 1960. So I give them a special kind of grace.
When I think about my grandpa was here for World War II.
Mad.
He was here to see the apartheid. He was here do the civil rights movement.
They didn't have no computers, and now everyone's on their phone.
When my granddad was working, he said that he would tell his secretary what he wanted to share with the office. She would type something and put it on everybody's desk. Like CVs, people would come to his office to drop this. So like,
but even with us, do you remember when we went to Brent Cross that time to hand out our CVs?
Yeah, that was mad.
For summer jobs.
That was mad.
That would never happen now.
I remember that.
And that's just in our lifetime.
I know. So when I think about him, by the end, he was like, yeah, like he always used to say, look, he fully fit as a fiddle. He said, I'm at the departure lounge. Like, I'm just waiting for God to call my... He was like, I've seen it. What is there to see again?
There's nothing left.
And it's the same thing that guy with the mop bucket was thinking. He's like, I've seen and done enough.
It's enough. It's actually
What
enough.
is there to see? What is there to do?
Is it not enough? Yeah, fam.
It's enough. So, to each their own.
All right, well, I'll put the trailer for Grizzly Bear at the end.
Yeah.
We'll do that next week. And thanks again for listening. We appreciate you so much. Thanks to Monarch Hill Productions for sending us the documentary. Appreciate you.
Now you can see us when we kiss you. Thanks. Okay, bye.
Bye.
For 13 years, Timothy Treadwell lived among the grizzly bears in the Alaskan wilderness. During that time, he shot over 100 hours of videotape. Until 2003, when he was killed by one of the bears he had sworn to protect.
Well, I'm here with one of my favorite bears. It's Mr. Chocolate. Hey, Mr. Chocolate. He's been with me for over a decade, and he's been my good friend. Oh, he's a big bear. He's a big bear. A very big bear. Wow.
When you spend a lot of time with bears day after day, there's a calling that makes you want to come in and spend more time in the world.
Expedition 2001, I came here and protected the animals as best I could. In fact, I'm the only protection for these animals out here. Animals rule. Timothy conquered.
He tended to want to become a bear.
Most times I'm a kind warrior out here. Occasionally I am challenged, and in that case, the kind warrior must become a samurai.
I think he had lost sight of what was really going on. Or he got what he was asking for, he got what he deserved.
Come here and try to do what I do. You will die. You will die here. We need more rain! Melissa is eating her babies. Timothy, I'm getting a bad feeling about you. I can smell death all over my fingers. I will die for these animals. I will die for these animals. I will die for these animals.
Now the Longhorns are gone, and the Drovers are gone, the Comanches are gone.
This is my life. This is what I do. I love it.
Geronimo's gone.
He says, if I don't come back, it's what I want.
And the lion is gone, and the red wolf is gone. Ooh, yip, ooh, yip, ooh.
And that's my story here. For me, Timothy Treadwell, the kind warrior.